The OKC Thunder have been one of the best teams in the NBA this season, with a legit MVP candidate and top 10 player in the world, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, at the center of it, and a monster rookie in Chet Holmgren that is already one of the 10 best players at his position in the NBA. But the player I want to talk about today is second-year forward Jalen Williams AKA JDub. Williams is having an incredible second NBA season, building upon a great rookie season where he was the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year. However, I don't think people realize just how good he is right now and just how good he can be. This isn't just a complimentary piece. This is a cornerstone level talent, one that I would say doesn't just have star upside, but also is pretty close to being a star already. But quickly before we go any further, if you're doing like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me on the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Jalen Williams. Williams has one of the most unique physical frames I've ever seen. He stands at 6'5", he weighs 211 pounds, he has a 7'2" wingspan. Guys who have outlier plus wingspans are really intriguing because it allows them to play positions that most their height wouldn't be able to at a super high level. It's how Donovan Mitchell can play the 2 guard despite being a bit undersized for the position, while Bam Adebayo can play at the center spot despite being 6'9". Despite being 6'5", Williams' outlier wingspan combined with his skill as a basketball player allows him to play the 1 through the 4 at the very least to some extent, making him very lineup and role versatile. This season, Williams is averaging 18.7 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and 4.5 assists per game on 54.3, 44.4, 82.6 splits, and a 62.8 true shooting percentage. He's on pace to be the 8th player in NBA history to average at least 18 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game, while shooting at least 50% from the field in their second NBA season. While this is far from a perfect measure to determine outcomes and projections, it should be noted that the other 7 players who have met this statistical threshold in their second NBA season, all of them have made multiple All-Star teams and at least one All-NBA team in their career. When you combine the production, efficiency, and impact on winning basketball, it's very clear that Williams is very close to stardom right now in his second NBA season. Williams' efficiency is unprecedented for a second-year player. 63.5% on 5.4 rim attempts per game, 49% on 4.1 short mid-range attempts per game, 48% on 1.6 long mid-range attempts per game, 44% on 3.1 three-point attempts per game. His production and efficiency increase with a volume and usage increase is incredibly encouraging. He's a legit 3-level scorer, he's efficient from just about every spot on the court, and it's not like he's just being force-fed the basketball and playing off of others. 52% of his production overall is unassisted on, and 73.3% of his non-rim 2-point production is unassisted on. Combine that with the fact that he does have a decent amount of production that is assisted on, and again, you get a player that's lineup flexible and role versatile. Let's start with his ability at the rim. Among players that are shorter than 6'7", he ranks 9th in rim volume, and among those top 10 in rim volume, he ranks 3rd in rim efficiency, trailing only Anthony Edwards, as well as his own teammate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What makes him so effective around the basket is just how strong and physical he is. That strength and physicality combined with his wingspan and skill is why he's able to play the 4 a lot despite being 6'5". I wouldn't describe him as a freakish athlete, but he's also far from a bad athlete. I think he has a very well-rounded athletic profile, he has good quickness and burst, relatively good explosion vertically, he has very good body control, Combine that with how strong and physical he is and how skilled he is, you get a very effective rim pressure threat. He has a good handle that allows him to get to spots where he can use his strength to his advantage, and he's also a good enough athlete in the other aspects to the point where those other traits athletically benefit from his strength. If he can overpower a weaker defender, moving them off their spot, Williams is quick and fast enough to get to the rim before they can recover. And on top of this, he's very effective off the ball as a cutter and attacking closeouts, and deals with physicality very well, which will make him one of the most complete scorers at the rim. I believe the next step in his development in this area is drawing fouls. He's not terrible at it, but I also think he has the physical tools and intangibles to be more than a 3.4 free throw attempt per game guy. If that area improves, he will be among the best rim pressure threats in the NBA, which on this team would mean a lot because they already have one of the best rim pressure threats in the NBA in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The other area Williams has impressed is the mid-range. Near 50% on both short and long mid-range areas of the court. On top of that, he's shooting 55.1% on 3.1 pull-up mid-range attempts per game. If you've been subscribed for a while, you know what I'm about to say, but for those who are new, I very much don't believe in this idea that the mid-range is dying. I believe it actually is one of the more valuable scoring tools a player can have. Maybe it's not as efficient as other shots in basketball. Layups are easier shots and worth the same amount of points. Threes are worth more points and are just as difficult. But I believe the mid-range is an area that can expand an offensive game because it gives defenses another area they have to worry about. And if a player is a good mid-range shooter as well as good at the rim and from three, the mid-range can be used as a leverage to create easier looks overall because it means defenses have to worry about all three levels of the court. And Williams in particular is a good enough mid-range shooter to capitalize on defenses defending the drive. He has shown a ton on the ball in terms of pull-ups, turnarounds, post fades, and even some step backs. There's really no need to talk about what the potential in this area is because he's already one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. And of course, Williams is a good three-point shooter. I wouldn't talk about him like a 3-level scorer if he was a bad three-point shooter. Now, the volume isn't that high at 3.1 attempts per game, but he has a ton of positive shooting indicators. Good touch around the basket, good free throw numbers, good mid-range shooter, pretty good efficiency on relatively decent volume, even if it isn't that high, are all positive indicators for potential growth as a three-point shooter. On top of that, this season, what makes me very encouraged by his three-point shooting and confident about it long term is the fact that a majority of his attempts are non-corner threes. He is shooting 53% on corner threes. He's taking 0.4 per game, which isn't a lot. Compare that to 43% on non-corner threes on 2.6 attempts per game. I believe that your ability on non-corner threes is a much more telling indicator for how good of a shooter you are or have potential to be than ability as a corner three-point shooter, because non-corner threes are a lot farther than corner threes, and a lot of the time non-corner threes also are influenced by on-ball attempts as well. Where in terms of Williams, he's actually shown pretty decent versatility. 39.8% on 2.1 catch and shoot attempts per game, and 56.8% on 0.9 pull-up attempts. Not the most volume in the world, but enough in the numbers and enough on tape for me to suggest that he does have shooting versatility from beyond the arc. Now, I don't think Williams will ever be a super high volume three-point shooter like a Paul George or Michael Porter Jr., where at their best they're at 7 to 8 plus attempts per game. But I think of it more like Kawhi Leonard as a three-point shooter, where you're taking around 3 to 5 attempts per game on good efficiency, enough to complement the other high-level offensive skills in their game. On top of 3-level scoring, Williams is a very good playmaker. He can handle some primary routes, but he brings his most value as a connecting playmaker. He's very good at making the right read. His decision-making feel are very good. He has the vision to find the open man. He has the scoring gravity to create advantages for others. I don't know if he reaches the threshold to be a full-time primary playmaker, just because those thresholds are so high in terms of reading defenses, advanced reads, and manipulation. At the same time, that really doesn't matter, because he plays with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And also, Williams has proven he can handle a few of those reps on the ball as a primary playmaker, enough for me to believe he can play 1 through 4 to a certain extent in certain contexts. Overall, Williams is a good enough playmaker to the point you don't feel like you have to make big changes or adjustments to utilize him within the offense. JDub is already a borderline all-star guy in my opinion. 19-4-4 on absurd efficiency, and your second NBA season is really promising. I think that goes without question. He's efficient on all 3 levels of the court. He can play on and off the ball in every aspect of offense. He can play multiple positions and roles. He's incredibly complete as an offensive player. When I watch him play, I don't really see a standout flaw. Sure, he may force a shot here or there, or make a bad read every once in a while, but those are very small nitpicks. He's a young player at the end of the day, it's you too, and even without him being a young player, I would still say like it's to the point that even good players make those types of mistakes, so it's not really worth harping on. And I think it speaks to how good of a player he is right now, when the questions aren't about can he become good? The questions are about how good can he become? The questions I have aren't about will he improve enough to be a good player? Because there's no need to ask that question. He's already a good player. The question is, how much can he improve to become a great player? How much can he improve his foul drawing? How much can he improve the 3-point volume? Those are really the only 2 questions I have in terms of how he will potentially reach the best outcome of his career. The answer to those questions will determine just how high the heights he reaches are. I think realistically, JDub will be an all-star in this league. If he's already putting up these kind of numbers in year 2 on a top 5 team in the NBA, I think it's realistic to believe he could be a top 3 option on a contender long term. He might be one right now. I think realistically the high-end outcome is 20 to 22 points per game, 5+ rebounds per game, 4 to 6 assists per game on really good efficiency, top 3 option on a contender, makes multiple all-star teams, and maybe have an argument for an all-NBA spot based on the context of how good the team is on a year-to-year basis. I think if he really improves the 3-point volume while maintaining the efficiency on top of really improving the foul drawing, he will reach the best possible outcome of his NBA career, and that to me is an all-NBA level guy and a legit number 2 on a contender. I don't know if it's realistic to believe he can reach those heights, but I still believe that it's a possibility, and even if he doesn't quite reach that, he's going to be a starter. There are too many indicators in the numbers and the tape to not believe that he has potential to be an all-star for a very long time. And I can't wait to see the heights that he reaches with this OKC team. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. And let me know what you think about Jalen Williams in the comment section below. How good do you think he can be? How good do you think he is right now? How good do you think this OKC team can be? Or even right now, do you think they have a chance to make a legit run at the title this season? Love to hear all of that down below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.